But some commodities also have this monetary use. And that monetary use is really important because we live in a world of money illusion.
Hey guys, welcome back to Library of Wealth. Today we have investor Mark Yusko giving us his take on Bitcoin and what we can expect from the crypto and financial markets today. Yusko says that once you take all of the free money out of the system, entire economies and markets will collapse. Yusko believes that inflation is a myth that only rewards people at the top of the pyramid. The reason why we have the largest wealth and income disproportion in the world is because the Fed has slowly been taking cash from the masses and delivering it to the elite. Mark notes that the Federal Reserve has been price-fixing interest rates that should be determined by the market. He says that the market should be able to set fair and proper wages instead of the Fed, and the market needs to be free, open, flexible, and have the ability to decide prices. Let's check out this interview with Mark Yusko as he gives his outlook on the current economy and how the Fed's impact on price gouging will affect crypto and the stock market up until the end of the year. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy what we do here on this channel. Let's get right into the video.
It's a really interesting dynamic. Everybody's all excited about dollar strength and, talking about the king dollar's back and not so much. I mean, it's the least bad of all the major currencies, but all the major currencies are devaluing at a rapid clip against stuff, right? Against gold, against Bitcoin, against tangible assets. And really what's interesting is the two currencies that everybody loves to hate, right? The renminbi and the ruble are actually pretty darn strong. Now the renminbi's been a little shaky the last couple of weeks, but over the last couple of years, renminbi's stronger than the dollar. So yes, the DXY, which everybody focuses on, we're the king. The dollar is better than the yen, which is just being obliterated by crazy Kuroda-san. Kuroda-san, he has no choice but to obliterate the yen. That is their only way out. They can't pay back the debt. They can't even service the debt. They're headed for a debt jubilee probably. So the yen has to be destroyed. But the euro has just been massacred as well. Part of it is most people don't focus on why was the euro even created? Right? The euro was created to be a crappy currency. And I mean crappy in a technical term, right? It was created to be a bad currency. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, Germany is a mercantilist, right? They make stuff, cars, machine tools, and they sell them to the rest of the world. Well, if you're a mercantilist, you don't want a strong currency like the Deutschmark. You want a weak currency. You want toilet paper for currency. So then you can sell your stuff really cheap and dominate markets like China. And so that's why they created the euro. And, there's a bunch of Deutschmarks in a vault somewhere, happily waiting for the day that they can come back, but they're not going to get their time in the sun. Because if I'm the head of the Euro Commission, I want all the crappy countries, again, technical term, I want all the worst countries with the worst currencies and the worst economies to join up in the euro to thrash the euro lower and lower and lower so I can sell more stuff. And so on that comparison, if you compare the dollar to the euro and the yen, yeah, we look great. Okay, fine. But the problem is money printing. Money printing has gone ballistic. Now it's less ballistic in the last 6 months than the previous 18 months. But that previous 18-month period, post-COVID lockdown, and look, I'm a firm believer, Francis, that the COVID weaponization, right? We took a flu virus, we weaponized it to make it something scary.
Yes.
And then we made these policy errors to lock down the world, which we'd never done in thousands of years, which was stupid. But we did that in order to justify this crazy, what I call the cult of Kelton, right? The MMT people who believe that you can create wealth by printing money. Yeah. And Francis, here's the problem. If that were true, wouldn't every country just do it? Right? If it was as simple to create wealth as printing money, wouldn't every country just print as much money as possible. Well, we know that's not true. In fact, in history, right, there have been 775 paper currencies in the history of the world. 3/4 of them no longer exist, right? They went to zero through money printing.
Yusko believes that we need recession because it cleanses the market and encourages prosperity. He says that the crypto ecosystem has gone through a cleansing deleveraging. The only problem for the general equity market is the amount of leverage currently in the system. Because the margin debt is the second highest it's been in history, there is still a lot that can become undone.
When governments get indebted, they have 4 choices. They can pay it back. Well, they can't do that, right? If you taxed all the wealth of Americans, you couldn't cover our debt. And Japan's worse and Europe's just as bad. So you can't pay it back. So then you can restructure it. But to restructure debt, someone's got to take the other side. Someone's got to take 70 cents on the dollar. And Chinese and Russians won't even buy our debt at $1, let alone 70 cents. So that's not going to happen. You can default on it. Oh, no. If you default, then you're out of power. And people in power like to be in power, so they don't default. So what do? You inflate it away. That has been the plan, right? The plan was kicked off in 1913 with the creation of the Fed. And the Fed was modeled after the Bank of England, which was modeled after the Bank of Amsterdam, which was created by the Rothschilds to finance war and to consolidate wealth at the top through theft, through inflation, right?
Correct.
That's what inflation is. It's theft from the masses to the few. So you have this problem that you kicked off this plan in 1913. And then in 1933, you accelerated it by banning gold. You made it illegal to own gold in the United States. And then in the 70s, you did the final death blow and you went off the gold standard, went to a fiat standard, and you made it legal for people to own gold again. But you basically said that I can print money now at a whim by fiat. And in so doing, you set us on this path to where we are today. Can the system catch fire and collapse? Overall, I think systems are pretty resilient because people are self-interested at the top. And so I don't see a total end game, but what I do see are innovations on the fringes that allow a portion of us to opt out and protect some of our assets. Right? People have been doing that with gold for years, silver. Now you can do it with Bitcoin and other assets where we're taking this monetary element of commodities, right? Commodities are commodities, right? We use them for stuff. But some commodities also have this monetary use. And that monetary use is really important because we live in a world of money illusion, right? Stocks seem to be at all-time highs. You know, houses seem to be at all-time highs. But that's because we denominate them in devaluing assets. World reserve currencies don't last forever. Empires don't last forever, right? Every empire, everyone has failed eventually. And they fail for the same reasons. They fail because they get concentrated at the top. You know, cronyism replaces capitalism. They become collectivist and they become appease the masses. They get over indebted and they collapse.
Along with the crypto and stock market, Yusko has observed the housing prices rising over the past year, even though the quality or efficiency of the houses haven't increased. The rise in prices are due to the money people use to purchase houses being extremely undervalued. This happened because the Fed has overprinted the dollar, which will not change the amount of money existing, no matter how much they alter the Fed funds rate. Yusko states that anyone looking at the CPI is only seeing what happened in the past and has nothing to do with the current economy. What do you think about Mark Yusko's opinion on the Fed's impact on the economy and how it will impact Bitcoin and the crypto and stock markets? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Library of Wealth. We'll see you in the next video.